All right, let's go. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food. I actually really been digging on seafood lately, man. I really like seafood recently. Besides that, I would say Mexican food. I'm Mexican, but and I know there's so many different foods out there. I've tried a lot of foods. But Mexican food is for sure would be number two. But right now, like for this time being, I really been digging on seafood, man. I like eating oysters, lobster, crab. I haven't had that in a little bit, but I like sushi and like raw fish or stuff like that. Uh, the seafood right now I've been really digging on lately. I don't know why. I think it's just because I started. It was before I started weight cutting, and then I started weight cutting, and then I'm like, oh shit. Well, kind of it's gonna help me regardless. So, it's easy, high protein, not too fattening.
Sure, 100%, 100%. What's your favorite drink?
Drink, alcoholic drink or non-alcoholic?
Oh, could go both.
Go both. My as far as like, I mean, when I go out to drink and stuff, like go out to dinner or whatever with my fiance, I usually will have a margarita. I'll have tequila. I really like tequila. That's usually like my go-to when I drink. Uh, non-alcoholic wise, I don't like soda. I'm not a soda guy. I refuse to drink soda. If I do, it's my fiance's like Diet Coke, and I'll have like a sip of it just because I'm like having like I feel like a little craving or whatever. But I'm not big on sodas, man. I'd rather drink like a hibiscus drink, like a tea, like a sweet tea or something like that. I prefer that over anything else.
Okay. What's your favorite color?
Color's red. My favorite color is red.
What's your favorite all-time fight to watch?
The fight that got me into watching UFC or wanted me to become a fighter was Stephen Bonner versus Forrest Griffin when they both got their contract. That was like the fight for me that got me really into MMA and everything, man. That fight for sure was it.
What's your favorite knockout?
Knockout, man. I honestly would have to say Masvidal's knockout, man. That flying knee, no hesitation, and finishing with a brutal three hits at the end. It's just like you can't get any better than that, man. The sport's about violence. That is as violent as it gets. And then if I had to go, second one would be when Masvidal got knocked out by Kamaru Usman, dude. That was insane. Like the picture that they took when the sweat was all over and it flew off his head, dude. That was one of the greatest pictures, man. It was like that Muhammad Ali picture where he's like, he's frozen and he's in the ring like doing his thing. Like that's what it reminded me of.
Bro, sports photography is fantastic. Fantastic.
Those little moments of just like that freeze frame, bro. You'll just never see again. And it's just like that was the moment right there. You captured it. So like hats off to like the photographers, man. They do amazing jobs.
Totally. What's your favorite fight of your own fights?
My favorite fights that I've had, I think that it would have to be against the Korean gangster, man. When I fought at the LA Shrine, it was when I was with Combate. Uh, a guy put that guy and me and him went back and forth, man. Then I knocked him down, then I finished him with ground and pound. Uh, but that was for sure most memorable fight. I would say Peru, but that was three fights in one night, and that was probably the most memorable fight card that I was on. Uh, having three fights in one night is absolutely insane and absurd. Uh, so I think that it would have, but like most memorable fight, like just one, like without having anything else, was for sure the Korean Gangster, man. The guy put it on me, I put it on him, and it was an absolute war, and definitely one to remember without a doubt.
I love that fight. I love that fight. Um, what's your favorite sport to watch other than mixed martial arts?
I like watching NFL actually. I like watching football. I started getting into it like a few years ago. More into it. I'm a Raider fan. Don't judge me, because I know there's a lot of judgment there. But I've always been a Raider fan since I was a kid, man. So NFL for sure. I like to watch. I don't watch basketball, not really. Um, Soccer too. I've enjoyed because I played soccer as a kid, so I'll watch that from time to time. If it's on TV and it's a team I like. But football, I definitely watch, man. Football is really fun to watch. These guys are sick. Guys are crazy.
What's your favorite submission to practice?
Arm triangle. Arm triangle is my favorite. It's super sneaky, and I have a really long arms. So it's more of like my type of fight, my type of a choke. Um, and I for sure want to land as many as I can when I get to the UFC. When I'm in the I'm in the UFC, I should say now.
100%, 100%. Who's your favorite athlete?
Athlete. That's actually, I would say if I had to pick, man. Um, that's a tough one, man. I have actually never really thought about that, to be honest. That's a like if I had to say it like at the top of my head, man. I think Mazepin would be one of my favorite athletes just because he went through he went through the as when he was younger he went through all that crazy stuff of bare knuckle fighting and all that stuff. And I like his story, man. He overcame a lot of shit and now he's like a face and made something of himself. And I think that I grew up in hardships myself with my mom and I didn't grow up like, I mean, I used to get in bare knuckle fights. Yeah. But like, I was like in high school, wasn't like fighting grown men out of prison, but I think that Masvidal is probably for sure one of my favorite athletes by far, man. I love his persona. I love who he is as a person and how he comes himself out. And he's like, really honest and he's, upfront with everybody. He doesn't try to be all like friendly. If he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you. And I like that about someone.
Totally, totally. What's your favorite movie?
Nightmare for Christmas.
Woo, me too, me too.
That's an easy one, man. That's easy. That's literally my favorite, man. I literally have like a bunch of Jack stuff. Look, like I got this guy sitting on my desk. So it's like that's my for sure my favorite movie. I was as a kid, I had the soundtrack and I would literally just listen to the soundtrack. And I had like almost every song memorized. Oh, see? Oh, my man. My man. That's like, dude, I was supposed to go to Disney this weekend for my anniversary for 5 years, but obviously it got canceled just due to can't be around crowds. I don't want to get COVID and all that shit. But yeah, man, that's the ride we love, man. We go straight to like the Jack, the freaking Halloween theme area with the Nightmare for Christmas, and we love that shit, man. Absolutely love that.
That's rad. That's rad. What's your favorite TV show?
Ooh, right now I'm really into the Walking Dead. I've been into lately. I started watching that. I know I'm a little late on that. Um, but yeah, I think right now would be The Walking Dead. I'm stuck on it. I saw Fear the Walking Dead, and then I started watching The Walking Dead, and I was like, I like The Walking Dead story a little bit more. Uh, and it makes you really think like, what would you do when you're like, if the end of the world happened, if zombies were to happen? And that's actually like, what would you do? It's like it's a trip, man. I think about that. I'll be like walking down the street and I'm like, damn, zombies just rushing me right now. What the hell would I do? I'd be like putting myself in scenarios like just because I've been watching it so much. I'm like me and my fiance are just binging through that shit. Like I've like if I'm not training, I'm like here at the house because I'm not working during the weekdays. And we'll just binge for like hours, or I'll fucking pass out.
What's your favorite song?
um, of all time.
Hard question, I know.
No, it's not a bad question. I would say Bro Him by Pennywise.
Okay.
That's a really good one. I had a really memorable time one time in high school. We went to a show and I was a big punker when I was like a little bit younger because my brother was a big punker and he's older than me, so I used to just pretty much follow his footsteps. And uh my first show ever was a punk rock show and it was lit. But that show they played Bro Him live and it was the biggest mosh pit I've ever been in, man. I got elbowed in the face, I had a bloody nose. It was crazy, dude. It was so fun though. And I think that's why I like that song the most, just because of that moment and like that memorable moment in time when during a live show and hearing it live and it was sick.
Totally. What's your favorite band or musician?
Uh Band or musician. I like Sublime. Sublime is probably my favorite. I remember listening to that as a kid in a Tony Hawk Pro Skater. You remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, man. And Sublime's always been one of my favorites. And I wanted to get the tattoos of the sun of Sublime, but I've never did. I haven't done it yet. I haven't pulled the trigger on it because it's still like a big maybe. But I definitely wanted to. I wish I was around to see Bradley's perform live and sing and actual music. But yeah, definitely Sublime.
What's your favorite video game?
Video game. Okay. I was stuck on Escape from Tarkov. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It's like a military realistic game. That was my favorite game for quite a while. I still play it for the most part. I actually went back to playing Fortnite, so I would say Fortnite is actually like my favorite game right now. And I've been like, I just gotten a lot better on it, having like a ton of fun on it. And I got some buddies that are way fucking better than I am, but they fit me better and they make me play better. So and like you can always improve in that game. So Fortnite is actually by far probably my favorite game, man.
What's your favorite place to travel to?
Um, haven't traveled for the most part anywhere towards like Europe or anywhere. Um, I've gone to Peru, Guadalajara, Mexicali, Tijuana, Monterrey, and about all those places, man, Peru was by far the most beautiful, man. Peru was absolutely amazing. The food was, I mean, obviously they're known for seafood, and dude, Peru is. I want to go back to Peru for sure, and I want to go definitely hike up Machu Picchu next time because I do want to get that off my bucket list. And definitely worth going back. I do recommend people to go to Peru, man. It's beautiful out there.
What's your favorite animal?
Animal, the bear, man, the California bear. That's like my. I have it. I just got a tattoo this year on my hand of the bear. The bears are sick, man. They're fucking crazy animals. A lot of me and my buddies had discussion and he's like because I was saying like, oh dude, bears just seem just so laid back, they're so chill, and he's like, no they're not. And I was like, he's like, I'm telling you man, they're chill until you bug them and then they get pissed and then they're gonna fuck you up. So I like that about them, man. Their bears are the California bear and like just bears in general are sick creatures.
And two more. What's your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby, man, if actually I'm a big gamer, man. I love just chilling and on my I love fucking just gaming it. Especially because it's like a really cool, just like kind of like get my mind off everything, just focusing my mind on like just freaking shooting because I'm a big shooter player, first person player, FPS player. So I really enjoy shooting games, and I think that gaming is probably like my favorite hobby to do.
And then what is your favorite quote? Which is probably hard off the top of your head, but if you got one.
Um, I actually thought of this quote years back, man, and I made sure I looked it up to make sure no one had taken it. There was some similar ones to it, but it's actually a quote that I had put out for myself a long time ago, and it's embrace the pain as you would the glory. And that quote for sure, man, is my favorite quote. I like to I like I said, I looked it up and made sure that nobody had just because when I thought about it, I was like, there's no way someone has thought of this quote. It's sick, and no one did at that. I don't know if anyone has now. I can't take credit for it, but I'd like to think I can. So that's for sure. That's my favorite quote.